Hi everyone, it's Julie from That's So Jules. Thanks for joining me today. I know it's been a minute. I have missed you all and I am excited to share this new tutorial with you. We're going to learn how to make the MAV backpack. I'm going to be teaching you a few hacks that are not written in the pattern. One being this clear vinyl. So the pattern normally will have an exterior and a lining interior. But this hack is no lining required, no interfacing. We're just going to use vinyl and binding on the inside, and I will show you how to do all of that. I also did a hack with the strap connector D-ring here, where it can slide to the left or the right, depending where you wear your bag, and if you're left-handed or right-handed. And lastly, I did a hack of connecting the strap directly to this rectangle ring. Instead of making a hook version that clips on, I just did it directly on here. Let me go over my materials and I'll show you how this little cute bag is worn, and then we can dive right into it. Thank you to Linds from Linds Handmade for allowing me to do this tutorial. I love your patterns and I am excited to show off these cool hacks. One of my favorite shops around, Weft and Warp Co. Shout out to Tammy. I got this cute Pusheen / sewing machine TPU vinyl from her. She custom designed it. It's adorable. I love Pusheen. I got that from her, as well as this kind of like a faux suede vinyl. She calls it Butter on her website. Got that from her, as well as my zipper tape. This beautiful custom label I got from Heartwood and High. I will link both shops in my description. So this bag is super itty bitty and adorable. It's great for concerts, things like that. It only measures about 8 inches in length, so it is really compact, but it does still fit my cell phone in there. You've got your main compartment here. And I also did a pocket. Again, no lining needed. So the pocket is just the other side of this TPU here. So little pocket for lip gloss, chapstick, lighters, small things like that. And then for phone, bigger things, I put in the main compartment. And let me show you how this cute thing is worn. One of the ways you can wear it is on the front, like so. Really easy to just grab and go and have access to your things. Otherwise, you can wear it on your back, just like a sling backpack. And again, the D-ring will go on either side, just depending what shoulder you normally like to wear your bag. This is a super fun, quick sew, definitely beginner friendly. If you are a little fearful of binding, you actually do not need to bind this when you make it in the clear version. Totally up to you. I did give my binding skills a little test and decided to add it on mine, and it just kind of gave it a little bit more structure. But if you are worried about that, you can leave that off. If you do make your MAV, I would love to see it in my Facebook group. It's That's So Jules Sewing Community. Feel free to join and share any and all of your makes. It does not have to be a tutorial I've done. I just love to support and see what you sew and create. So hope to see you there. Thanks again for joining me, and let's get started. I can share that vintage dream. For pieces, you're going to have your 3 main body pieces cut out, as well as your 2 pieces of zipper tape. You're going to have a gusset and a zipper panel piece and 2 zipper tabs. I'm also adding a label on mine, but that is optional. You'll need 2 zipper pulls, a swivel hook, rectangle ring, strap adjuster, and a D-ring. Moving on to webbing, I cut a piece the width of a main body piece for the D-ring hack. I've got my D-ring tabs and my strap. I only ended up needing 1 D-ring tab. You'll have your strap toppers here, a strap end, and a strap accent as well. Before I sew anything, I'm going to grab all my webbing and zipper tape and singe the edges with a lighter. That way there won't be any fraying over time as the bag is worn. We're going to start by doing some prep work on our main body panels. So 2 of them will become the back, 1 will be the front. Decide which one you want to be your front if you're adding a label, and go ahead and get that added on the front. I will be sewing around mine to attach it. To prep the back piece, you're just going to grab one of your pieces and attach the webbing. I measured 1.5 inches up, just clipped those in place, and then baste stitched each edge of the webbing. Do not forget to put your D-ring on before you clip that in place. This is what you should be left with after you have that basted on. Now we're going to stitch across that label and get that sewn on the front. Grab your second back panel piece and use the pattern to cut it into 2 pieces. Grab your shorter zipper tape, your zipper pull, and the 2 zipper tabs. Start by attaching your zipper pull to the zipper. And now we're going to put the zipper tabs on either end of the zipper tape. Be sure it is right side down, and just line that up with the raw edge of your zipper tape. Clip that in place and do the same on both sides. We're going to sew this at 1/4 inch. Next, we can fold these tabs right side up, and we're just going to top stitch that down at 1/8 inch. And this is what you should be left with. Now grab the bottom piece of that back panel that you cut, and we're going to attach the zipper, place it right side down, aligning it at that straight top edge, clip that in place. I move the zipper pull out of the way just so I have a nice straight line as I clip, and then we're just going to stitch this down at 1/4 inch. And this is what you should be left with. Now we can flip this up, and we are going to top stitch that down, making sure that the vinyl is facing downwards, so away from your zipper, and go ahead and top stitch that at 1/8 inch. When you come to your zipper pull, be sure to move that out of the way, just so that you can get a nice straight stitch. Now grab that top portion of the main panel, and we're going to place that face down, aligning our straight edges with the zipper, and go ahead and clip that in place, and we are going to again stitch this at 1/4 inch. Again, when you get close to that zipper pull, just lift up your presser foot and move it out of the way. We're going to repeat what we did on the bottom portion and just flip this facing upwards this time, but away from the zipper tape, and top stitch this at 1/8 inch. And this is what you should be left with. I'm just going to trim up each zipper tab and make sure that they're flush with the edges. I also used my pattern piece and just trimmed up the bottom to make sure it was the exact size that it needed to be. We're going to grab both exterior pieces and place them wrong sides together and go ahead and clip this in place. We are just going to baste stitch this together at 1/8 inch. And this is what you should be left with. Now you have a completed back panel with the zipper pocket. You should also have your front panel with your label attached. Now we're going to grab the 2 strap toppers, the D-ring tab, and your rectangle ring. And we're just going to slide that rectangle ring on the D-ring tab, fold it in half, and baste stitch the raw edge at 1/8 inch. Now go ahead and grab one of your strap toppers, and we're going to place this D-ring tab about 1/2 inch overhanging the shorter edge of the strap topper. Blah, 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 mouthful. And go ahead and center that, and then we're going to baste that on as well, like so. This is what you should be left with. And now we can attach the other strap topper. Go ahead and sandwich that D-ring tab in between the two, being sure that they are right sides facing together, and clip that in place. Now starting at the left and then over the top and down the right, we are going to stitch this at 1/4 inch seam allowance, being sure to leave that longer edge open. This is what it should look like. We're going to go ahead and just trim each of the corners at an angle, being sure to not trim your stitching. This will just allow for a nicer corner when you flip it right side out. Once those are trimmed, go ahead and do just that. Just pull from the inside here and flip it right side out. And now we can top stitch all 4 edges at 1/8 inch. This is what it should look like when it's finished. Go ahead and set that to the side. We're going to mark some centers, so grab your back panel and find the center and either mark that or trim that. We want to do that on the bottom as well as the top. Now, being sure to note which is the actual exterior and which is the interior, you want to find the center of this strap topper. I just fold mine, I didn't really trim it. And make sure that you place this on the center of the exterior of the back panel. So the side that has that D-ring, that is the side that we want to clip this on. And we're going to go ahead and baste stitch this at 1/8 of an inch. There we go. Now your back panel is complete. Next, we're going to grab our gusset and our zipper panel, as well as the remaining zipper tape and zipper pull. We're going to start with that zipper panel, placing it right side down on the top side of your zipper tape, and go ahead and clip that in place. You may want to use your zipper foot for this, but we're going to go ahead and sew this at 1/4 inch. Now go ahead and flip that right side out, making sure that your zipper tape is facing towards the zipper panel. And we're just going to top stitch down the length of the zipper at 1/8 inch. Now we're going to attach our zipper pull with the zipper panel facing upwards and the zipper pull facing to the left, as demonstrated here. Go ahead and put that on. Once that is on, we're going to attach this gusset piece. Make sure your print is facing the same direction if you have directional print. And go ahead and clip the short edges together. And we are going to sew this edge at 1/4 inch. Now open that up, press that seam with the seam facing towards that gusset piece and away from your zipper, and we're going to top stitch at 1/8 inch. Now we get to play the repeat game and repeat those steps on the other side. So again, short edges aligned, clip in place, and sew at 1/4 inch. Then flip seam open, press away from the zipper tape, and top stitch at 1/8 of an inch. And just like that, our gusset piece is completed. Now we have all of our pieces done. Let's attach them together. So we're going to first mark the center of that front panel. As you saw earlier, we already did it on the back, so let's go ahead and repeat that on the front, folding in half and marking or clipping the top and bottom center. And let's also mark some centers on this gusset piece. You're going to want to match up those seams on the edges of the zipper as best as you can. And then just kind of press your fingers up towards the top, and then I clip those, and that is the top center. And keeping everything aligned, I just kind of slowly go down to find my bottom center. Again, making sure that those seams are aligned as well. And go ahead and clip or mark those, and those will be your bottom centers. Now you can just match up those notches that you made and press down each of the sides and clip those centers as well. And now you have a completed gusset piece. We're going to start with our front panel. We're going to turn this right side down, so wrong side out. And with the zipper tape facing the right side of the front panel, and we're going to align our top notches that we made. Go ahead and clip that in place. I start at the top notch, do a few clips, and then I do the bottom, do a few clips, and then I work my way around both sides. And now we're ready to attach this. So we're just going to work our way around, sewing at 1/4 inch. I use hemostats to hold my vinyl together, especially around those curves. If you do not have those, just go slow and take your time. You can also use double-sided sticky tape prior to clipping if that helps you as well. But if you do not have these hemostats, I do recommend them. They made life so much easier with these tiny curves. They also are really helpful when attaching binding, as you will see a little later. Okay, once that's done, it should look like this. I just like to push mine right side out and just make sure that I caught all the edges and that everything is laying nicely. So just kind of double check that. And then we are going to, again, put it wrong side out so we can attach our back panel. Now grab that back panel. We're going to be placing the exterior portion just like so. So that should be facing towards the front panel, the right side of the front panel. And that zipper pocket should be facing outwards towards you. So everything should be inside out. So go ahead and line up those top center marks and make your way around with your clips or double-sided tape. And we're just going to repeat what we did before and sew at 1/4 inch. And I just moved my zipper pull to the center just so it stayed out of the way as I was sewing. Okay, she is done and we are on the home stretch now. So again, just verify everything was caught and stitched in nicely. And now we can just open up that top zipper and push everything right side out. And kind of push out all the corners and the edges and the zipper. Just kind of make everything lay nicely and make sure that it looks how you are hoping. At this point, you can be done with your bag other than attaching your strap, which we will get to in a minute. Or if you want a little more structure, you can add binding to the inside. So I am going to show you how to do the binding, but if you're happy with it like this, you can go ahead and skip the binding step. You're going to want to clip your binding around all of the raw edges. I will show you how I did that on the other panel. Once that is clipped in place or taped in place, we're just going to sew that at 1/8 of an inch. I do recommend using matching thread because binding can be kind of a bee sometimes. So if you do have matching thread, it will make life easier and it will make your binding look a lot nicer. So I switched mine to black just so it would match. Go ahead and use your hemostats if you have those, and otherwise just back stitch at the beginning and end and get that stitched on. Once that's sewn on, just take a second here and make sure that the front and the back of the binding all got caught and was sewn on without any overhang. So here I'm just going to show you how I attached my binding. There's a couple ways to do it, but I just simplified it and just simply folded it over. So I just start with that raw edge and take my time kind of pinching each little segment and clip it in place. And you can also, again, you can use double-sided tape or glue if that helps keep everything lined up. But yeah, just kind of make sure it's even on both sides so that as you're sewing, it's going to catch that front and back portion of your binding strip. Now, as we come to the end, you're going to want to trim, I don't know, I maybe leave 1.5 inches-ish of overhang. And in order to hide that raw edge, I just open the binding all the way and fold it down, just maybe like 1/4 inch. And then fold it back and press it right over that initial raw edge starting point, like so. And just clip that in place. I'm going to start sewing right about where that ends and begins, just so I can make sure to catch it all. So that is the starting point I use, and go ahead and just sew it again at 1/8 inch all the way around. Now that we have our binding attached, just double check that other side, make sure that everything was sewn on nicely, and we can turn it right side out. Now we just have to make and attach our strap, and we will be done with our Mav backpack. Grab your swivel hook, your strap adjuster, the strap accent piece, and the strap end piece. And we're going to start with the strap end piece. So go ahead and fold it in half to find the center and just place that on the raw edge of your strap. And go ahead and sew that at 1/8 inch. This is what it should look like when it's done. Now we're going to grab our strap adjuster and feed that end up, over, and through the strap end like so. And you can either sew this down or rivet it down. I'm going to rivet it down. It's just easier, so I prefer that. So now that I've got that riveted down, we're going to grab the opposite end here and feed the swivel hook onto that. Now with that strap end facing towards the center, we're going to take the other edge of the strap and feed it through that strap adjuster again. Just up and over and through that. And your swivel hook should be kind of just hanging out on that big loop portion there. This is what it should look like. And now we're going to attach that raw edge to the bag. So go ahead and grab your bag as well as the strap accent piece. And we're going to first feed the strap accent through the rectangle ring on the bag. This is what it should look like. It should just be centered over that rectangle ring. Go ahead and grab your strap
and we're going to just place it on the strap accent piece. You can tape it down, glue it down. I just kind of placed mine down and eyeballed it, centered it, and then clipped it in place. So go ahead and do whichever you choose. And then we're just going to sew around that entire strap accent piece and directly over the strap. We will be sewing this at 1/8 inch. I went ahead and added a few rivets to mine as well, just for extra strength and for the design. Now you can go ahead and attach your strap to the D-ring, and you have just completed your clear MAV. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful and that you learned a few new tricks. I would love to see your bag. Feel free to join my Facebook group and show it off there. And thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.